apologies, we're a bit late. We had a bit of misfortune with power cuts and all sorts. We'll take you through the runners and riders in a second. But yeah, again, please welcome our two experts in the commentary box. We have got Nolsey, or Prize Kumquat, who's in the so that's our expert for today, and we've also got Todd in as well, who would as you can see, he's just retired because he's got a quali ban for being a naughty boy. Todd, so Todd will join us for quali. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, mate.
Awesome. And you're right, Kumquat? I love that name.
Yeah, I'm all good. Hopefully it's going to be a good race today.
It should be, because we're in Monza, one of the classic tracks, and yeah, this is looking good. As I am just quickly sharing the link, because we love to make sure that our fans give us access to share their views, opinions, and all sorts. Whether it's good or bad, we'll wait and see. And right, as we've got our first car out, that's a Ferrari then. So yes, of course we've got a couple of guys missing, and we'll go through that in a second. So as you can see, here's one of our first debutants. This is Barker, of course, who's very interested. He's quite new to league racing, but he is very interested in Formula One. So hopefully he will have a good race day. We've got Bradders. He's a returnee to the league. Of course, he was a very quick driver at the beginning of the season. When I think he drove for McLaren originally, so he's back in the Sauber today. Great to see him back, and hopefully be back a couple more times as well. We have also got Zippo, Invader Zippo, who is also making heat. This is a one-off race for Zippo, of course. So Zippo is usually a league owner for SNRS, so also a nice cheap plug in there. We've also got Twan's very good friend, who is stepping in for Twan tonight, and that is Bogdan. I always said that right. And he was driving the McLaren then. So of course we got no Dave, aka McVicious, because he's unfortunately not very well today. Twan is attending some event. He's a very busy man, Twan is. And of course we've got a couple of other guys who are not present at the moment, which is unfortunate. But hopefully, yeah. Of course, also TNT is not racing either because of he's got no steering wheel, and he struggles without steering wheel. And we're just watching Matt now. So yeah, so we're on board with Barker, but I think that there was someone else who was a lot further ahead. I think. We just seen a car just bump over the curbs there. So yeah, guys, then we've talked about. We've got a few parish notices as well, a bit quick to go through. Of course, NWB is not taking part in qualifying because he's got a qualifying ban, as has Broke Gorilla, as has Godzilla as well. So yeah, it was a very action-packed race in Belgium. But so those guys are already retired. So we're just looking to eliminate 2 people from this Q1 session. And we'll go through what strategies there will be in a minute. Just on board Barker, and I'm just going through the second Les mode. So yeah, guys, sorry about that very long intro. We'll go through the championship as well in a minute as well. But yeah, guys, what are you expecting then from this race event here in Monza? It's a bit of a classic track, isn't it?
It's going to be a good race, I think. It's yeah, it's temple of speed, isn't it? So yeah, fast lap. Bit of chicane to negotiate as well, as you've got McLaren up there on his outlap. But yeah, it's a really good track, and a great track for overtaking as well.
Definitely is, and that's going to help you, isn't it, Todd? Because unfortunately you're starting near the back, aren't you? But yeah, what do you think about this place? Do you like this place?
Oh, I love this track, mate. It is brilliant. I can't fault it at all.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the old school tracks. So this track has been on the F1 the Italian Grand Prix has been on the calendar all the way back since the 1950s. So it's had various disguises, but yeah, we've just seen a couple of drivers come across the line, and they're all on super soft tyres at the moment. As Mr. Elite just driving off on the straight line there. Hopefully, I don't have too much to drink, or he's still struggling from the game last night. And of course, then I'm not even sure he's a Liverpool fan, but I certainly am. And anyway, then we're just watching a couple of guys go for fun. Everyone's on the super soft tyres at the moment, apart from the man we're looking at the moment, which is at Storm. So yeah, I think he's just trying to get his eye in, because Storm hasn't raced the last couple of weeks, and I think is Guna got a quali ban as well, or have I just made that up?
I think right, we'll have to investigate that afterwards because he might have one carried over. So I don't believe he raced in Belgium, did he?
No, he
I
didn't.
do believe Gator Nation had a quali ban, did he not?
Is Gator Nation got a quali
No, I
ban?
don't think so.
Oh.
No, he's not got one.
It shows how much I read the chat. And talking of our one of our returnees, here's Bradders, one of the quicker men in the excuse me, in the race. Of course, unfortunately, he had to retire early on the season, but he is back with us now, and hopefully he'll be back full time. And we're looking forward to seeing him in the Gold League next season as well. So looking forward to that. We've got a yellow flag there. That's a Williams just cruising around, so he's just trying to get away. Matt has just gone second at the moment on a 1:21.0, but Bradders is dead on 1:19. He's a bit of the He's a bit further ahead of everyone else so far. Although we're just on board with Gator Nation. You can see we've got one car missing at the moment, and that's Hunter. Unfortunately, there's been a bit of a power cut at Hunter's house, so hopefully he'll be on soon. So at the moment, the Force India flag is being represented by the American Gator Nation, as he's just coming down the back straight now, and I think he's just about to start a lap. So this is quite a relatively short track, but yeah, as Norton said, this is the this is the Temple of Speed. This is, of course, it's had a few modifications, as we said. The turn 1 chicane, there used to be 2 chicanes there, so it used to be quite quick. So 1, 2, 3, 4 chicanes, and then but now it's just one chicane, which always brings up some messy turn 1 result, some messy turn 1s in there, especially in the past. As you may remember, 2001 there was a couple of interesting moments when they first had the chicane put in. Of course, apart from that, the track really has been modified from. Obviously, it used to be kind of more of a banking kind of track, didn't it? Because they go under the banking, just coming up to the Ascari chicane, and so we're 10 minutes into this session, and unfortunately, I've kind of talked a lot of nonsense so far, and I haven't really talked much about qualifying. But Alex, have you got the championship results with you?
I do. 1 second. I'll just go through them quickly.
Also,
here we go. So at the moment, and following Belgium, Nigel's taking the lead in the championship. He's now leading in the Red Bull by 17 points from NWBB, who's also jumped our previous championship leader Hunter, who's now down in 3rd. So NWBB is, well, he's only just 4 points ahead of Hunter now, so 21 points the gap between Hunter and Nigel. Dan Murphy staying as he was in 4th place, followed by Asdog again, and Mr. Elite, both in the same position as they were at the previous race. SNRS Farth in Toro Rosso has overtaken his teammate Hilton Matt, who's now fallen down the order. Grills in the Mercedes has jumped Storm. I believe that Storm didn't actually attend a couple of races, but he's now back in the Williams today. And then we've got Gunnar, Steo, who are equally managing their positions in 12th and 13th at the moment. Dark Plague, Gator Nation, and Plan. Plan's going to be jumping up the championship, I imagine, when he comes back, when he gets back racing. And then we've got Double, Godzilla, Vicious, Bright Gorilla, Crazy Hitman to make up the rest of the championship at the moment.
Yeah, thanks for that, Alex. As Invader Zipper has retired from the session, he is. I think he might have had a mishap somewhere. Well, I think we're on board with his teammate there of Storm, so I'm not sure what's happened to Zippo, but unfortunately he's out quite early on. So we've got a lot of retirements so far in this first quali session. And of course, Tijona Sarah, of course, is just cheering for his fellow countryman, I believe, Bogdan, who's of course, I think that they're both from Norway. So great to see the league having more nationalities in here. Just on board with Storm, who is in the Williams at the moment. We've got Gunnar, who hasn't qualified yet, but he's on a lap now, I think. Also, Farf hasn't come out of the pits yet, and nor has Nige. So, and of course, Grilsey is also coming out of the pits as well now. Of course, remember that we have lost NWB. We've also lost Broke Gorilla, and we've also lost Godzilla. All got quali bans, and Zippo, I think is kind of having an adventure somewhere. So unfortunately, he probably won't make it out of quali either now. On board, that we're just watching Gunnar then coming around the final couple of quarters, and let's see what he's doing. And he is going for 122 there. So just outside the 121 there. So good time there from Gunnar in the top 10 there. So good stuff. And we're just watching at Farf, who's just having a bit of a outlap there, and also we're just watching Grills in the number 93 Mercedes. And of course, as we said before, Mercedes have got a very strong partnership now, and they are also climbing up the constructors standings quite nicely now. I think they're in 5th position, I believe, something like that. Yeah, and they're not too far behind the Force India now. And of course, with Gator Nation, the only man flying the flag at the moment for Force India, with Hunter still not joining the session, Force India are looking very likely that they're going to be losing the 4th position in the constructors. Of course, that very coveted 4th position as well. But it's very close between. It's also very close between Toro Rosso and Force India. 1 point in there, and then yeah. And it's a good old battle on the constructors for 3rd, 4th and 5th at the moment. Just watching Grills then coming through the second chicane, sorry, now into the first Lesmo here. You can see taking a nice, he's gone a bit wide there. Car is very oversteer, of course, because we've got minimum downforce here this weekend. And now into the second Lesmo, a lot more tighter, and also you can end up in the barrier there. Now coming under the old track, now this is where the old banking used to be. And now into the Ascara chicane. It's a brilliant chicane this is, as you can see Grillsy looking very in control there, which is a lot more than what you said about my driving around there. Usually I'm in the wall. As Grillsy now coming down into the final parabolica then, so as he at the moment should, a lot of these drivers I predict should be quite easily through, not because I'm Mystic Meg, but actually because we've got a lot of quali bands at the moment. Is what does Grillsy do? So he takes a tight exit, he's done a 120, so yeah. So he is within a 1/10 of a second of Bradders at the moment. So yeah, that's looking pretty interesting there. So Grillsy looking very strong at the moment. What do you guys? What do you reckon the pace is around here? Is a 119 a pretty decent lap time so far, or do you reckon that the track is going to evolve and get quicker and quicker?
For Q1, I think it's absolutely rapid. Yeah, I think it's a really good time.
I was thinking that's a very good time as well. So I know, just watching Farf come across the line as well. He's done a 120.6 as well, but he's invalidated his time, so he's going to have another crack now. Nigel just comes out of the pits, I think, in the Red Bull. I think that's Nigel. I don't think it is Nigel. No, Len. I lie. It's Crazy Hitman has come out of the pits now. 5 minutes to go, and yeah, it says we're hoping that Carl joins in as well, because he was the championship leader up until last weekend in Belgium. So yeah, it's Carl's got it all to do now. Hunter's got it all to do now. It's a bit of an uphill battle now, but yeah, we're but of course he won the first ever ALR race back in Australia in incredible fine style. So yeah, hopefully Hunter will be able to join me. He's had a bit of misfortune as well in the last couple of races as well. I remember in Germany he had an issue with his throttle, didn't he? And which is a shame. And then in Belgium he got caught out, which many people did. Farf quite a way over to the outside the track there, which is a bit of a worry. And now going through the Ascara chicane, going on the exit there, and Farf is now coming down the back straight. And he's got 4 minutes to go. I think this should easily get him comfortably through. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. I think it was just in the Ascara chicane, we just seen the car come flying through there. He was going the right way. I'm on board with Farf now, and what does he do? He's done a 119 as well, 119.9. Look how close these times are. This is going to be very, very good for later on in quali. As Nigel is now out of the pits. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. Hopefully it's no one having too many issues. Barker is now starting to improve his time. He's put almost a second improvement on that time, so Barker is just getting more and more happy with his car. So he's up to 12th now, and now we're on board with Mr. Elite. Of course, Mr. Elite had a great podium, didn't he, back last weekend in Belgium? So great stuff from Mr. Elite, and hopefully he can replicate that now. We're just on board with him now. He's coming through the second chicane. Next now, Red Beater. So at the moment, as it stands, then we got Bradders, who's on pole, who's currently the fastest. Second is Farf, Drillsy third, Storm fourth, Matt in fifth. We got Murphy sixth, Asdog seventh, 8th position is Mr. Elite. We got Boden in 9th position. Gunnar is in 10th at the moment. Gator Nation 11th. Barker in 12th. We got Double 13th. 14th is Crazy. Then we've got Zippo, who's 15th. Unfortunately, he will not be taking any more part in quali by the looks. NWB, of course, broke Gorilla and Godzilla not qualifying, but Nigel will be qualifying, and we're going to go to Nigel in a minute once the Mr. Elite has finished his qualifying time. Excuse me.
Yeah, so it's just going to be one person left to drop out for that way of qualifying one, and then we'll have 15 runners for Q2. But I've been told also weather-wise that it's dry in all sessions today, so it's going to be dry qualifying and a dry race. As Nigel looked a bit squirrely on his exit of the first chicane there.
Yeah, and hopefully, as we're on board with Nigel now, we expect Nigel to get through. And of course, his teammate, Crazy Hitman, quite disappointed so far down, because Crazy, before he got unceremoniously booted from the last session, I think he's only logged onto his PlayStation, which kicked him out. Look at that, Nigel's car there just trying to spin itself off there. Nigel not on the back straight now, but yeah, his teammate Crazy would like to be a bit further up than that at the moment. Of course, he's done his lap on the soft tyre. So remember, that is the second step. So we've got 3 types of compound like normal. So we ain't going to see the inters or wets as Alex said, and Nigel goes third fastest at the moment. This is looking very good. I'm really intrigued by this. It's looking very tight at the top of the standings, isn't it, guys?
Yeah, it's tight at the top. I was just going to say that. It's only a matter of thousands of seconds, isn't it now, between the top 5 or so, I suppose now. I know Storm's he's pretty quick, isn't he? I think he can probably make an improvement on that time, and has Temple Lead, Dalton Matt and Dan Murphy. So I think I think there's going to be quite a few people vying for pole position in this qualifying session.
And just as Crazy has now gone to 13th, but unfortunately that means that for Double that he will be out of qualifying because he is still in the pits with only 45 seconds to go. So that might be the end of the road for Double, unfortunately. And Farfa even said he had no DRS in his lap as well, so that's a mighty impressive time for Farfa. He's really on it today. So yeah, we're looking forward to a good old battle. Of course, we're also looking forward to the guys who are at the back of the field coming through the field as well. So we've got a very interesting Grand Prix ahead of us, haven't we?
It'd be interesting to see what kind of laps Farf sets in Q2 if he uses DRS.
Yeah, because DRS is probably worth about maybe I'm overpowering a bit, but I just said about 4.5 a second in lap time. Would you guys agree with that, or is that a bit too much?
I'd probably agree with you on that, Sean.
Excellent. I feel clever now.
Why not, eh?
Yeah. So that's the end of the session, and unfortunately, with the guys that we have lost, then is Double, NWB. We've lost Todd as well, who's in the comms box with us, and we've also lost Godzilla. Of course, remember the final 3 had a qualifying ban, and Double, of course, then he didn't have a qualifying ban, but is out of qualifying, which big shame that is for Double. Zippo, we think, has hit the wall somewhere, so we won't see him again, I doubt it, until the race, which is a big shame that is. So yeah, it's looking tight at the top. This is looking very good. I'm really looking forward to I think just watching Nigel come in the pit, and Nigel's going faster still. I wonder if this is a bit about pride. And I think there was a bit of a discussion about pit assist being on or not, but we'll worry about that afterwards. We're on board then with Nigel. They're getting very leery. I think he's now. I think he was just trying to see how quick his car can go, so he was 800 a second quicker on that lap. So yeah, he was definitely on the limit in his first lap as well. So there is no sandbagging here, as he's just cruising now. I wonder if he's in low fuel mode now, as he's just cruising to the Parabolica car number 26. So he's just coming into the pits. So yeah, that's a very mighty time from Farfly is, where he didn't have no DRS as well. So amazing stuff. So then you see the unique you've seen that Nigel just went into the podium there, which is quite a unique feature on this track. Because the podium is basically out in the middle of the track, really. So it's good to see all the Tifosi fans waving their flags. So yeah, hopefully it'll be nice to see a Ferrari on the podium, but I'm not sure if that's going to be not sure if Double's going to be able to get there. But then again, this race is quite easy to overtake on this. This race is one of the better tracks. So that's in the Q1 then, and from that session, we can definitely take away of how close these guys are going to be into the top 10 shootout. But remember, the next qualifying session is about determining the next 5 drivers. So it's 11th down to 15th. Look at that, is incredible, isn't it? The top 4 are separated by 900ths of a second. So that's the front 2 rows. So yeah, this is looking awesome. And of course, then we got our debutant Barker there is in 9th position, so good drive there. We've got Bowden as well, who's in 11th position. So I'm waiting for Twan to message the group, message the message YouTube and say I'm saying it wrong. Zippo was doing a good job up until, but unfortunately I think he might have hit the wall. So and then Double, of course, who got knocked out of Q1.
I was going to say there, Sean, the top 4 being that close doesn't bode well for turn 1 in the race, does it?
No, it doesn't. We might be we might be seeing some action into turn 1, which yeah.
might be a bit busy, I think, trying to gain position, but trying to make sure they keep the front wing and stuff like that. So we'll see. But I think I'm just touching on strategy now for this session in Q2. Obviously they have to start, well, the top 10 have to start on their the compound they set their fastest lap on in this session in the race. So most people, I reckon, who have the pace will go on the softs, and then they've got, if they don't have any damage, they've got the mediums to switch on to for the second stint, and then those that aren't being too confident will try and sneak into the top 10 with a super soft compound. So yeah, it will impact their race strategy, I think, but it will obviously boost them up the order in terms of qualifying position. Yeah,
you make a very good point there as well. It's going because to be honest, though, I think some drivers might get caught. Talking getting caught out, Farf is around the wrong way. As yeah, just got his wheel on the gravel there, reverse from right the way. So well done, Farf. Good stuff there. Yeah, that's obviously he's just testing the grip levels, just making sure everything's all hunky dory. I think he went a bit too far there, but yeah, we'll yeah, I think Farf was interestingly on the super soft tires there, so that should have given him the most grip. We're on board with.
So I was just going to say, because I think he's doing my tactic and trying to confuse you and confuse me as well, because he's gone out on the softer compound and he's got the pace to. He's got the pace to probably even if he wants to try and get into Q3 on the medium set if he wants to be very quick. So I don't know why he's come out on the super softs at this stage, but maybe he's just having a cycle lap and he might come back in soon. But yeah, I'll let you crack on. Sorry.
Oh no, carry on. Yeah. It's John. It's I'm almost getting there now with you not confusing me anymore by going on the softest tyre, because I don't think I haven't been caught out recently, which I'm glad to say. Great braking there from that, braking almost just under the 100 metres, just before the 100 metre, no, just after the 100 metre ball going down to turn 1, which is amazing stuff. And we'll just so Todd, just a quick, what if you was in Q2 right now, what tyre would you have gone on?
I would have gone on the super softs to try and poke my nose into Q3.
I know, and of course if you're on the super softs as well, that will also give you a better launch off the grid in theory. So, but having said that in Belgium, it didn't really Nigel, it didn't really affect Nigel too much because he was on the harder compound, the medium tyre when on it in Belgium, he lost the position. So, but of course that is that's not a very long run, is it, down to La Source? So this will be a bit more of a a problem, of course, getting off the line, because it's quite a long way from the finish line down to turn 1. We're just watching Matt now. I think Matt, it is, isn't it? So there's a lot of time for people to misjudge their braking points, lose a couple of front wings and all sorts. But of course, Alex did say that. As you're just watching Matt come across the line, and he's done a 1:22 there, and I think Nigel is behind him, wasn't he? Well, someone was, but obviously I'm lying.
I think that was Crazy Hitman trying to come into the pit now.
Crazy Hitman, but Mr. Elite goes at second fastest, because that is quickly over quickly, oh, and Brothers then just goes faster still on a 120.4, and he's on the super soft tyres, Brothers is. But I don't think that's his ultimate pace, though, is it? Because we seen him earlier on in qualifying going to the 19, so yeah, maybe that's a cycle lap there. We're on board with Bart.
I might have a problem with that, sorry, because he's in 19.9, didn't he, in Q1 on super softs. And it depends on obviously the track evolution and that sort of thing. But putting the softs on, but usually the delta's about sort of 6/10 or so slower than the softer compound on the super softs. So if he doesn't have a great lap, and if at all he puts the softs on in the next few minutes, if he puts the softs on and doesn't improve, he's going to have to start on those tyres.
Yeah, that's a very good point, actually, isn't it? I'm glad you mentioned the delta. Of course, that is the time difference between the softs and super softs, and 6/10 is quite a major. That's quite a major difference, isn't it? So you need to be on it if you want to overturn that deficit. So we just had a
because he's only 5/10 off his previous time. So if he might have a fight on his hands to actually beat that time on a harder compound.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting. So yeah, more maybe Brothers just wants to go have a bit of fun. Of course, remember Brothers is not in the championship full time anymore, so he might just like to go out and disturb everyone, just have a bit of fun. As we're just watching Gator Nation now, the American driver who is about lunchtime over in his time zone. So I'm hoping he's fully fed and ready to go. We're on board with him now. He is in at the second chicane now. Beautiful how that is. Unfortunately, we haven't got the third place man in the championship, Hunter, back in this lobby just yet, and that is going to be that's a major blow for Hunter, isn't it? That's because he had a major problem in Belgium as well. So it's such a shame for him. It's just having all the bad luck at the moment, isn't it? Just watching his teammate, Gator Nation, who is hugging the. Oh, I thought he was on the wall there. I think he was just hugging the Scar chicane a bit too much there, which caused the car to become a bit unstable. He's now coming down the back straight and onto the final parabolica. And T. Jonas has just said it's Jay Bodan, so thanks for that. I always butcher these names, so yeah. Don't take it personally. Gator Nation is up into 6th position out on the super soft tyre. Just on look to see outside there. Now the track is starting to get relatively busy. So we're just on board with Farf there. And of course Farf didn't have no DRS in the first Q1 session. And he's on the medium tyre, that is. So the medium tyres then are going to this is going to be interesting to see if he can get the job done. Judging from his pace from Q1, I think we think he shouldn't he? Because Farf was very quick and he didn't have DRS.
I think he can definitely do it. He can definitely get through into the top 10 on those tyres. It might be, as Gator Nation slightly drifts around the first Lesbo. Yeah, I was just saying, Farf, he might be going out on the mediums now, setting a time on the mediums, and then we put the softs on to try and improve if he wants to start on the softs instead. So bit of a banker lap on the harder compound just to see what he can do, and then just watching that Force India that was drifting around the corners.
We was on board Gator Nation there. I thought he was going to the wall again.
Yeah, so he can go out on the harder tyre, have a bit of a play around, see what the grip's going to be like and what the speed's going to be like, and then come back in, put the softs or even the super softs on, and then go faster, obviously. So still plenty of time for him to do that.
And Farf has unfortunately gone over the Super Policeman in turn 1, so it looks like he misjudged his prairie point now. So unfortunately, that's going to end his lap quite early in a hurry as well. Just watching Murphy now in the Haas, as he's just coming out of turn 1 now. As he's still warming up his tyres, Murphy is. So yeah, struggling to get a bit of grip.
Yeah, it looks like he's going for another lap on another out lap sort of thing to warm them up, and then the next lap he'll go for a flyer, I think.
Is tyre warm up quite difficult around here?
No, I think the tyres are they're pretty easy to warm up around here, especially if you're sliding around corners, as we've seen a couple of people doing. So yeah, well, I'm on board with Nigel at the moment, and he was just sliding around the first chicane, doing a pretty good job of drifting it and keeping control of it. But yeah, it's tyre wear. That tyre warm up down here isn't too bad. You can usually get away with on pretty much both all the compounds is one out lap and put your flying lap in. It just depends on the driver on whether they prefer to do it 2 out laps and a flying lap or not. I don't know what happened there. I was just on board with Nigel, and he seems to just be going straight into the back of somebody.
I think that was Farf who was just having a bit of a cruisy outlap, I think, because I think he messed up his first attempt, and I thought he was going into the back there. That would have been 2 major names out qualified, because that would have been terminal damage for both guys.
Definitely, yeah. I think I don't understand what Nigel was doing there, because his Farf was off the racing line, well out of the way, and he just seemed to almost drive into the back of him.
Yeah, was it? Do you reckon he was just dozing a bit there? Nigel was.
I think he might be. He was at 720.9 on soft, so I reckon that would be enough to get through to Q3. So maybe he was just he took an eye off and wasn't concentrating too much on that lap, knowing that he would already get through based on the time that he just done. So yeah, I think well, obviously he's got the pace, so I think that time's going to be enough to get him through. So no issues there, I guess.
And let's just go back to the point that you raised earlier, Alex, about some guys have drifted around in I think Gator Nations visited the gravel there out of the Scarish came from just watching Dan going down the back straight. But yeah, you was commenting on some people were sliding around. So what kind of Storm goes fastest on 120.3 on the super soft tyre? What kind of car do you like? Do you like a pointed car? Do you like an oversteery car? How do you like your car set up?
Well, first of all, the majority of the sliding is due to the weight reduction in the setup, so in ballast.
Yeah.
So usually around for controller drivers, it's usually a bit lower than wheel-based drivers because they've obviously got less precision in terms of the turning. So usually around Monza 7 or 8 for controllers for pad drivers, just because it's more stable, you're less likely to start sort of sliding or drifting around corners, and effectively that means the more stable your car in terms of the ballast, so the lower your ballast, the less risk there is of that sort of thing happening on going around fast corners mainly, and it also reduces tyre wear because the higher your ballast, obviously if you're doing drifts around corners, it increases the heat into the tyres, which obviously increases the wear. So you have to sort of, again, like I can't remember what I was talking about in the previous race. I think it might have been wing balances. So obviously further to the forward, further to the front, or further to the back, that sort of thing. You have to compromise again with the ballast on whether you want a car that's stable in the corners, which means you're going to be slower, or less stable, which means you've got better pace going around the corners, but you've got more of a risk of sliding, which then reduces your tyre wear or increases your tyre wear.
Excellent stuff. Yeah, so that's exactly why we have Nosey and Todd in the comms box, you see, so we get an insight of what these drivers are doing. So yeah, so some folk like me who just watch them go around in a circle and think that's amazing, and then there's other techno folks who like to know what are the drivers actually doing and how they're setting up the car. So that's great insight there from Alex, and as we'll come to Todd in a minute, because we want to like to know what he's thinking about doing in the race then, because of course he started from the back, but we'll come to Todd in a minute. So we're just going to finish this on-board lap with Crazy, and he goes 5th fastest. He's in front of Nigel, but bearing in mind they're on their 2 different tyre compounds, but still a decent time for a decent time there, so nicely done there from Crazy. And you were exactly right though, Alex, about Farf just kind of coming out on the medium tyres and just having a feel on the soft tyres and just having a feel of what was going on, because he's now on these soft tyres and he's now going for a quick lap as is Grillsy as well. So exactly spot on. You definitely know your tactics.
Yeah. Well, he was a bit unfortunate because I think he would have set a time on the mediums, but if he hadn't invalidated his lap early on, But yeah, I think he was always going to start on the soft compound. Again, it's all everything you set up, all of your tyre choices, everything's a compromise. So, do you want to start on a hard compound, which is going to take in the race, which is going to take longer to warm up, compared to your competitors who might be starting on a softer compound, or do you want to and then go longer, or do you want to start on a softer compound, have a bit more pace off the start, use a quicker warm up of the tyres, so you can have the initial pace, but then obviously have to pit earlier. So again, tyre strategy, anything setup related, it's all a compromise. It's trying to get the best speed down out of the car without obviously losing it and putting it in the wall. So, which I've done a few times. So.
I do, to be honest, that is exactly right about a compromise, especially around here, because this is a very quick track, but there is a couple of areas, I would say, the second Lesman in particular, and even at this Scar chicane, where the rear end gets very light on you, as Crazy Man getting out of the way of far, I think we're just trying to steal a slipstream there. Yeah, the car gets very light on the rear end, and you can end up in the wall quite easily because of the low downforce. He was watching Farf now coming with final cover corners. Remember, this is it. This is make or break for Farf. He's got a 1 at 21 at 5 there, but he should be through. Asdog is on the bubble at the moment, so Gator Nation is out. So is Gooner. Mr. Elite is also out as well, but what about Grillsy? He's through, but now it's between Barker, who's we got a damaged Gator Nation who's gone off in the second chicane there. I haven't seen the car go off there before, but yeah, he's in the wall there, so that's why Gator Nation's out. Hopefully, it hasn't hurt Asdog's out, because Asdog is on the cusp at the moment. He is out of qualifying by 100th of a second. So that's how close it is. Barker is doing a good job in the Ferrari at the moment. Of course, remember, this is a debut race, and what a way to make a debut in Ferrari's home track, in a Ferrari, as Asdog is now coming through the Ascari chicane on the back straight now, coming down into the power buffer.
He's going to be through, I think.
He's going to be through,
so Barker will drop down, I think, on this on Asdog, based on Asdog's time. He is on the faster compound as well, so there we go.
So Asdog comes across the line, and you're exactly right there, Alex. He was through, so he got up to 6 in the end. But yeah, that was a bit of a squeaky bum time there, wasn't it? Right at the end there for Asdog, but he is through, and that just shows that track position is king. So we're just waiting for the results to come up, and then we'll go through the guys that bit the dust as being out of Q2. And here they are. Unfortunately, we've got the debutant of Barker out, but look, he was very close indeed, at 200ths of a second. Then we had Gooner, who is out as well. Then we had Gator Nation. Unfortunately, he was in the wall, but he was 14th, and Mr. Elite down in 15th. So unusual to see Mr. Elite that far down. He only did a time on the soft tyre though, so that's unfortunate for Mr. Elite. So we're now just going to go into Q3.
Yeah, sorry, I was just going to say that the top 6 there, all on the super soft tyre, and there's only there's actually 4 in the top 10 who've gone on the soft. So I expect, obviously, if everyone gets away cleanly and there's no issues into the first turn or thereon, those top 6 to start pulling away a bit at the beginning of the race, compared to the guys from 7th down to 10th at the moment. And also the guys below who've just gone out, they've got obviously free tyre choice at the beginning of the race, so whether they want to, either they can go on the mediums and go long into the first stint, or they can choose to, well, they put the super softs on if they want to, but I'd recommend if they're starting below 10 to put on the softs or the mediums and try and pick up a few places where you might see some accidents, especially with the top guys being so pushed together.
And just to cover on a point, Grillsy is out of Q3 because of he's got a Q3 ban. So Grillsy, that's why Grillsy retired from the session straight away. So he will have a choice of no, he won't have a choice to retire. I'm lying there. So unfortunately for Grillsy, he will be starting. I think he did. What did he do? His Q2 time on the soft tyre.
I believe he did, yes. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check that when this session's over now. But yeah, he had a Q3 ban that was carried over, so yeah, he will have an extra set of super soft tyres which are unused if he wants to put them on in the race.
just on board with Farf now, of course. So this is where the cars should be the fastest on the whole race event then. So minimum fuel, maximum attacks, the softest compound tyre we have available, which is of course the super soft tyre. And we don't expect the wet tyre to be used at all in this race event, because we had the inside scoop quite early on. And we're just watching Farf come down to the final corner now. So Todd, can we just quickly come to you about what are you hoping for the race? Are you hoping for points?
Well, I'm hoping. Well, I'm going to try the Max Verstappen approach.
Oh, nice. I'm hopefully not the Max Verstappen of old.
Start on the medium tyres.
Yeah. And
go long in the first stint, and then see what happens after that. Really, depending on what. If I pick the mediums for my starting tyres, I'd probably get either softs for when I take my first pit stop.
Excellent. So you're going for more of a conservative approach then, rather than sticking on the softest tyre then to making up as many places as possible, which is a very good idea actually, because you shouldn't be in the danger zone too much, should you really? Because if you
not being what 18th, I think I'm starting.
Yeah, so
it shouldn't be too bad for me. So I will end up missing all the carnage.
Exactly. So that's you can see both our experts have said that both are expecting carnage down to turn one. And to be honest, that's usually that's what a lot of the fans like to see. Actually, is a bit of carnage, don't they? They love the first corner accident. As long as it ain't like Belgium '98, we're all good.
I thought the Max Verstappen approach was he shall not pass. So if you jump everybody on the medium tyres, then you can then you can just hold everybody up there after that.
And Murphy goes second fast at the moment on 1:21.4. He's a second behind Farf at the moment, but Asdog there looking very strong at the moment, and he's on 1:20.7, so he's second fast at the moment. Just having a look to see who else is. Brothers invalidated his first lap, which is a shame there. What about Nigel? So Nigel coming across the line now. Nigel, the new championship leader, and he just goes on 1:20.3 so far. I was expecting more quicker times than this. But,
I think there might be. There's a possibility that there's some out there on used super softs from previous sessions, just again, like you said, getting their eye in, and then they've got time to come back in, put a new set on, and smash through that time, get back into the 19s as bad as we want. So yeah, I think there'll be. Well, we had two, didn't we? Had in the 19, just in the 19.9s, didn't we?
Yeah. In
Q1, so I think there'll probably be maybe one or two extras joining them, so probably the top four, so we'll be into the 19 doing.
And Brothers is just going 4/10s quicker. He's going 4/10s quicker, and we've got Twan who's joined us, of course. So the
time there from far.
That's an amazing time. So yeah, as Brothers comes into the pits there, so Brothers there just steaming in the pits there because he's I think because he was doing a much quicker time. Storm's in the pits as well, so them two guys aren't set a time yet. We're on board with Jay Bowden. He's done a 1:21.1 so far. So of course he's flying the flag for McLaren at the moment. His teammate NWB is starting at the back of the field today. Of course he's replacing Twan, of course ALR's #1 fan. That's a great time for Farf, and that was on the second lap as well. So that is pretty immense stuff.
Yeah, as you can see, the top three there is offered to. Some background noise there. Sorry, the top three, top four now, guys, have actually opted to go and do 2 laps instead of just doing one. So they've decided to stay out there rather than instead of going back in and really go for it. As Matt's gone a bit long into the braking zone for turn 1 there and taken out a few of the block markers, whatever they're called.
Yeah, he's done the Rosberg approach there, hasn't he? Of course, Rosberg's favourite racing line back in 2014. And now he's watching Murphy then, who's going to start us up. No, he's not. He's coming in the pits. So thanks for that, Dan.
I think the guys on 2 laps will be coming in now, and they'll be putting a new set on for to go once more, and then goes in the pits. I think Brothers is just coming out.
Yeah, I'm on board with him now.
And Storm and Crazy Hitman is just about to start a flying lap, I believe.
He's a bit out of sync, isn't he, Crazy Hitman is? Do you reckon he will have any difficulty with traffic here?
I don't think he'll have any. I think actually he'll have the clearest track. But I think the problem is for him, because he's not set a time yet, is that he might struggle to get round and get back in and set another time. So obviously in Q3 you've got 12 minutes now, isn't it? So
yeah,
to get out there. So it gives an option to go out there in some cases if it's a short flat 3 times in Q3. In most cases it's just twice. So you ideally want to optimise the time so you are out there at least twice to set 2 flying laps. Obviously to try and improve on the second attempt. So he might have a bit of difficulty obviously when he comes into the pits and has to get into a carriage and then put a new set of tyres on, trying to get out in time before the session's over. And we'll see what his time is on the set.
So he's just coming through the final sector now then, so he's in the Ascara chicane. So exactly right there, Alex. Again, there's absolutely no traffic, a perfectly clean bit of track in front of Crazy now. So what is he going to do then? So will he, well, if he wants another go, he's going to have to kind of have an off lap, a cool down lap, so he gets his air charged and then go back again, really, isn't he? Because as you said, there's no way he's going to get back in. But what does Crazy do? He goes up into 6th position at the moment. Good time there from Crazy. So
very good, yeah. I think he will have enough time to get back round, because obviously it's a 1 minute 20 lap. If he gets in and gets back out with say 2 minutes to go, he can get his out lap out of the way, and then he's got time to go again. So I think he's played it well, and I think he's got enough time to get another run in and get back in the garage and get used to the top.
And we're just on board with Brothers now, who was setting the pace early on, and look at that, he had oversteer on the exit of the Ascara chicane there and went a bit further right than he would like to have done. Hopefully that hasn't invalidated his lap, because this track is quite tough on invalidating laps, but he's coming through the Parabolica then. You can see then he's got a bit of understeer in the front of Parabolica then, running almost onto the AstroTurf. Now he comes across the line. Look, this is looking a very good time as well. It's a great time. It's a 1:19.4. He has really thrown the gauntlet down. Great stuff, Ed. So can Farf reply to that, as we're going to just go and watch Storm now, and then he goes up into 3rd position. Storm is, so he's on a 1:19.3 as well. These are the times we're expecting. Good stuff. What about Farf?
I'll take it back. I think it's going to be more than 4 people in the 19s. It's going to be pretty much all the top 10.
As Brothers is happy with that time, he's just called it a day and retired, and we're on board then with Murphy. Then I think Murphy has just gone up to 6th position. Nigel is about to come out now and come into the fold. I'm just seeing who is as Crazy is in with 2 minutes to go. So it is going to be touch and go, but he should get back out there. Just watching Farf now. Then he comes into the Parabolica. Can he match? Can he overcome the 1:19.4 from Brothers? As he comes across the line now, and what does he do? He's on a 1:19, and he's not done. Oh, he's invalidated this time anyway.
He's invalidated, but I don't know if he's going to have to go again. If he wants to try and beat that time, he's going to have to try now on the same set of tyres and go again. So we'll have to wait and see whether he can improve, because again he's going to be doing an extra lap on these tyres now. And Storm, I think, is Storm's coming into the pits, I believe. I think he's finished for this session.
Remember, this will be Brad's 2nd pole position of his ALR career. So, of course, we knew he's a very quick man, but this would be a brilliant. Well, it would be one of the best sporting comebacks ever, surely. Coming back, you can see we're on board with Jay Boden, who's just coming around the curve corners now. Storm's retired from the session, and I think he's just starting his lap now, actually. So. Yeah, we're now watching Asdog, who is going on a quicker lap. Matt's on a quick lap as well, and so's Dan, who's gone up into 4th position then. So Farf is 7/10 down there. So I think he's just getting himself revved up for one more push. So we're just staying with Asdog at the moment, as he is coming under the old bridge. And now coming to the Ascara chicane, and he's 7th at the moment. Of course, he just squeaked through in the final section there. of Q2. So he's but he is in the game, and that's where he needs to be. You have to be in it to win it. And he's coming down the parabolica now. He's taking a wide line in. Now you can see as Farf is also retired from the session as well. So that's our top three at the moment. Asdog is coming around. He's hugging the inside line. He's gone across. He's 7th position. He's improved, but unfortunately he hasn't made up any positions. Nigel is on in that lap as well. Can't Nigel get into the 19? Bill Matt comes across the line, and he stays 6th fastest at the moment. And
he might be going again, I think.
Well, Asdog certainly ain't going again because he's completely missed turn 1 there. We're on board then with Jay Bulden, who's coming across the line now, and as he stays, well, he improves his time, but he's he's not fastest at the moment. Crazy has just finished his lap. Well, unfortunately didn't get a lap in the end. That's a shame for Crazy.
Nigel just about got out in time because he literally left the pit limiter on the exit about 1 minute and 24 seconds remaining in the session. He managed to get round, and he's now on a flying lap. So he only just got through in time.
Oh, so by the skin of his teeth then. So Nigel is going for a second pole position as we're just watching Matt, who's got 4/10 up. If he carries this through, he will be up into 4th position. Can he do it? So Matt is aiming to jump at Nigel and Murphy. Murphy's finished, but what about but Nigel hasn't, of course. But so Matt is aiming to jump up a couple of spots. Comes around the final parabolica then, and what does he do? As he goes slightly, that's a good line there. And he's coming across the line to go in the 19th, not just the 19th, but he is 6th.
I think he invalidated his time. I think he invalidated his time because he didn't make any improvements, and that was a quick lap. Like you said, he was 4/10 up at one stage. I think Nigel.
So Nigel comes across the line now. What's Nigel doing? He's done a 19.
He invalidated his time too.
Nigel only 5th, so that's our championship leader. Oh, and what about and that's it then. So that's our grid then for today's race. Well, later on race. So that means that so Brados takes his 2nd ever pole position of ALR. Amazing feat for Brados. Comes back and sticks it on pole position. Great stuff from Brados there. So as we're just on board with the McLaren of a J Bob then. So yeah, Todd. Just before you go in the race, and good luck today. You'll be starting on the medium tires, going long, and hopefully making up some few positions and trying to avoid the carnage. So yeah, watch out for Todd. He'll be coming through. He'll feel like a hot knife through butter. But anyway, let's go through the top 10 then. So we got Bradders, who is on a pole position, 900th of a second in front of Farf. What a great battle we're going to see there. Then Storm was about 4/10 back. Murphy in 4th position. Nigel, the championship leader, only 5th. Bilton in 6th. Then we got Asdog 7th. Crazy Hitman is 8th. Bogden is now in 9th position, and of course he is the top debutant, and 10th was Grillsy. So this is going to be fascinating, and we'll go through the formation up in a minute when they start warming up their tires. So yeah, so unfortunately Matt and Nigel both invalidated at times, which means otherwise they both would have been in the 19s, that's a big shame for both those guys. And unfortunately we go, and this is the last point which Hunter can join in. I don't think he's going to join now. So for a place, so at the moment the guys at the top of the championship today are really struggling. Nigel only down in 5th position, of course. Hunter not racing, and of course we've also got MWB who's right in the back. So one thing that Murphy be helping to gain a few positions. Is it possible that he can get into jump in front of Hunter? Well, he is quite a way back at the moment, so yeah, there's a bit of a points difference, but he definitely won't be hurting his chances. As we're just waiting for the drivers there to get their strategies done. This is going to be one of the quickest races of the ALR League, because one's such a quick track that these laps just rapidly fly down. So of course, and then we go from one of the shortest races to one of the longest races in Singapore, which I think is next. So we're just waiting for the guys to get off the line then, and you can see we've already got a guy on the grass.
So hopefully everybody gets their gets their tyres warmed up, and there's no collisions or anything on the formation lap. Yeah, they will be making sure those tyres are up to temperature. Obviously, like with the super soft tyres, will have less warming up to do than the guys, for example, on the mediums. Yeah, it'll be well, we'll be underway in a couple of minutes now.
Yeah, so this is the most exciting part then of the event, which is the racing. Obviously, this is why we're all here. And just going through the tyre selection, we have got there's no one on the medium tyres, so everyone has chosen the soft or super soft. So on the super soft, we have Godzilla, we have Mr. Elite, Gator Nation, Gooner, Bogdan, Crazy Hitman, Asdog, Bilton, Storm and Bradders, and then everyone else is on the soft tyre. So let's just go from the grid from back to front. So we've got Godzilla, who's 19th, then we've got Gorilla, who is 18th, the NWB, who is in second in the championship, we're qualifying by in 17th, Double is 16th, then we've got Zippo, who's in 15th position, Mr. Elite is in 14th, 13th is Gator Nation, 12th is Gooner. We've had both Ferraris retire. That was ironic. Barker in 10th position, 11th position. Then we've got Grillsy in 9th position. 8th is Jay Bogdan, the highest running rookie. 7th is Crazy. 8th is Crazy. 7th is Asdog. 6th is Matt. Nigel in 5th, the championship leader. 4th is Murphy. Storm is in 3rd position. 2nd is Favre. And first is Brothers then, and Brothers is lined up the grid now, preparing themselves for the start then. So yeah, that was a messy formation lap for me, wasn't it? I got there though.
Yeah, I was just looking at the top two. They seem to disappear into the third sector, and then third down from third. Just thought, well, I'm not going to worry about that. Your tyres are going to get cold, so I'm going to keep going at my pace. Obviously, I don't know what the specs are, but they'll just put them on good for the combat.
Here we go then, all 5 lights are on, and then when we're going to be away, and it's go! No! We're just a bit of a hold here. And now we're away. And then so yeah, a bit of an anti-climax there. So you can see a good start for everyone. You can see, look all the wheel spin then. But Brothers has made a decent start, and Storm has made an excellent start. He's already up. He's on the outside of Brothers going into turn 1. And he's, oh, we got a bit of contact. All 3 of them. And then we've got more contact. Brothers, they're bumping and grinding now. I know Farf is now on the outside. This is going to get a bit messy. And you can see a bit more contact as we're just having a look at the back, and everyone is through, and almost safely through. That was amazing stuff. Nigel is up into second position. Brilliant start from Nigel. So he's up into second position already, and he's on the soft compound tyre. Storm is third. Farf has dropped down 2 positions. Jay Bogdan is up into 5th position. Brilliant start from Bogdan.
We've got a queue forming behind 6 now. I think there's been a bit of a mess after the second chicane there, and there's front wings flying all over the place. People crashing, and it's just a nightmare, I think.
Yeah, no, that's unfortunate as well. So, and I think as we're on board with Zippo, oh, we've had contact between the Double and Zippo, and Double's in the wall. Is he still in it? He's still in it.
He's still going, yeah. That's alright then. I think Zippo, I think he's lost a few positions there, hasn't he, off the start?
Yeah, he's dropped down a couple.
Yeah,
he's 15th,
too.
And Crazy is now up in the 6th position. Good stuff. Murphy, I think, has got damage to his wing as the Brothers leads the race. Then as wow, that's a crazy start, isn't it?
There'll be 4 in the pits, I think. Maybe there'll be we might see quite a few in the pits, because I think there was definitely a lot of front wing damage on quite a few cars. As I think Farth's gone into the back of Storm just there, into turn 1, and caused another bit of front wing damage.
Yeah, no, we've just seen Murphy, Crazy, and Mr. Elite oh, look at how close he was in Storm, and then on the outside, Farf's on the outside of Storm, going into the second chicane there, and that would have been brave. So as you can see, that they're starting to lose touch from Nigel at the moment, who is in who's in that second position. We got a great start from Bogdan there, who's up into 5th position and really loving life out there in the McLaren. So of course he's the highest rookie as well, doing a great job out there. Then we've got Grillsy, then we've got Hitman, then we've got Murphy, then we've got Matt and Mr. Elite. So you can see we've got a bit of a queue here. Gator Nation 11th position, 12th position. We've got Farfus down to 5th. He's having a bit of a hard time in these opening couple of laps. Farfus, as unfortunately Asdog has dropped down 10 positions because of the incidents at the start. We think now then as sorry, I was just trying to pick the tire selection. Matt is up into an 8th position there, but Murphy is still on the inside. He's got DRS as an 8, but he's going on the outside. Matt is amazing stuff from that, brilliant. Going on the outside, Nigel just set the fast lap of the race, but Murphy's not done yet, nor is Mr. Elite. Then we've also got Gunnar behind as well. And look at this, this is what we mean about slipstreaming here in Monza, as a Farf is back and they're still fighting. And what's Mr. Elite doing? Mr. Elite has just overtaken both.
I can't believe if he's managed to get that move done without going off the track. I don't think we did in the end.
No, if we went
the back end of it.
So that would have been amazing.
Those back, I think.
Yeah, I think it should. Hopefully he is now at Mr. Elite, but that would have been an elite move, wouldn't it? So
been, yeah.
Oh, and he's getting in a bit of late.
I think he's moving out of the way of both of them, but he's not doing it very well. He's let Matt through at least.
We've got a bit of bumping and grinding here between Gunnar and Gator Nation. Gator Nation number 12 at the moment. We got Barker in 13th position in the Ferrari. His teammate is well down. NWB is
Mr. Elite's off, I think. Or is that down there too? Somebody off ahead of that. I think it was Mr. Elite in the dust stuff. In the second leg mode.
Yeah, Mr. Elite dropped down to 14th. NWB is only it's only a 14th at the moment, and Todd is now up into 15th position. We've got Godzilla in 16th. Zippo is 17th in the Williams. Azdog is 18th, and ignoring yellow flags there for Gator Nation. Brothers leads by 3 seconds from Nigel. Storm is now starting to catch him down. We've got a couple of movement. We've got a bit of movement. We've got a lot of movement. Baker is now up into Barker. I keep calling him Baker. Barker is up into 11th position now. Gator Nation still 12th. Mr. Elite, I wonder if he's got damage there, but we'll come back to them in a minute because Gator Nation's all over the back of and NWB has dropped down. He is down, he is in the pits. NWB is, so they're not having a very good day at the moment. And up into that's a shame there for NWB, because remember, he is challenging for the title. He is 17 points back from Nigel at the moment, and Nigel is second at the moment, and yeah, he's going to be gaining at least 18 points. And on board now then with Broke Gorilla, he's going on the outside of Mr. Elite. He is going, I think Mr. Elite might have a problem there, but Broke Gorilla is now through. He's no, yeah, Mr. Elite there, bumping and grinding. He's forced him off the track there, Mr. Elite did. And as we're just watching, Godzilla now coming on the inside into the first Lesmo, so that's unfortunate for Todd there. I think Mr. Elite didn't give him much room. He was on the outside there. And yeah, well, let's catch our breath for a minute. Great stuff at the moment as we Bogdan is up into 4th position at the moment. Farf has had a pretty awful start, really. He was right up there, and unfortunately he's now down to 5th. It could have been a lot worse. So Grillsy is in 6th position at the moment, and there's a good battle for between 4th and 6th, so 4 seconds back. Crazy is 7th, Bilton is 8th, Murphy 9th, Gunnar is in the last point position mode. Gator Nation is 11th, running a bit wide there. We got Baker and Barker in 12th position, Mr. Elite in 13th. He's damaged his wing, I think Mr. Elite has. Broke Gorilla in 14th, but we're just going to come back to that in a minute because stop-go penalty for corner cutting from Farth.
So Farth, I just saw that Farth. He was in DRS of Jay Bogan and went for a dive into turn 1, and unfortunately got it all wrong and missed the corner completely, pretty much. And ran over the curbs and obviously got his 5-second penalty from there. And somehow Grillsy has overtaken Jay Bogan in the same sort of in the same sort of area of the track on that first chicane.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Whether did Farford take out Jay Bowden there, then well, not take him out as such, but force him off the track possibly, because that's probably how he got Grillsy got by. Because and a crazy crazy hitman then, because this man has quite a bit of speed, doesn't he? Really, the champion where he is in the championship is sitting. And just like I say that, he almost goes into the wall. He's 8th position at the moment, and Grillsy is now behind Jay Bowden again. Jay Bowden doing a great job at the moment at making his debut. Of course, he's on 10 World Championship points so far, just come out of the Parabolica, and so he's in 5th position at the moment. He's having some great battles out there. Everyone's having some great battles. Got a yellow flag in sector 3. No, hopefully it's just hopefully it's nothing too major. We've still got all 19 cars running out of the 19 that started. So brilliant stuff from all those guys. NWB then is these guys are still battling at the moment, and you can see just behind them is Matt and Crazy. So yeah, these guys are now starting to bunch up slightly, and I think this is the closest battle on track at the moment between Boden and Boden, Grillsy, and Matt, he's in DRS range now, and Crazy who's just dropped out. Remember, Grillsy is on the soft tyre, so we're expecting him to go longer. As yeah, it's been a bit of a venture on the opening couple of laps, hasn't it? Hasn't it, Alex? Amazing stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I think the guys on the super softs, I think their strategy might be to try and get far enough into the race to put the medium compound on, and obviously it'll be going from the the softest compound this weekend to the. Oh, sorry. I think Bill Matt there was he had a bit of a problem.
Yeah, I think unfortunately Boden forced Grillsy off the track. Grillsy come back on, and I think unfortunately Matt was at the wrong place at the wrong time there, and I'm not sure if he ran to the back of him. I'm not sure if he got wing damage there, but yeah, that was very close between Grillsy and Boden there. As now Grillsy might be in a bit of trouble now because Matt, who's on the super soft tyre, has also got DRS available as well, so the drag reduction system is open wide, and he is going up the inside into turn 1 then, so move done there from Matt, and stopping nicely as well. A very clean move as well, so up into 6th position. 7th position, it's a Grillsy's down 7th position, but remember he's still on the back there. He's got on the slipstream, going into the second chicane now. Matt is in the centre of the road. Yeah, it's a good defending there from Matt, just parking his car right in the middle of the road, so Grillsy couldn't get by. So good stuff there. So, but yeah, don't expect this battle to be over anytime soon. And you know, wow, as Matt goes slightly wide there. As we got and Grillsy's gone very wide there, and now Crazy's going to be all over the back of him. He is going to be through, should be, and he is through. So Grillsy on a couple of poor lap or two of poor, well, a bit of bad luck, and also running a bit wide as well. So and Crazy though is off the track. He's kept it out of the wall just. Wow. So Crazy unfortunately dropped down to 9th there, and Buna is going to be past him as well. So Bradder has sets a fast lap for the race there, as so Crazy unfortunately dropping down a couple of positions there, which is a shame. It's quite easy to do though in the Scottish chicane, isn't it?
Well, definitely, yeah. It's one of those ones, especially like I said earlier on with the ballast. If you're running very high ballast where it's a bit more slidey, less stability, then yeah, the Scottish chicane's one to throw you off, put you in the wall quite easily.
Yeah, no, it was, to be honest, it might have been a bit of luck there from Crazy not to be out of this race, so he's dropped down to 11th now, which is a shame for him. We're back on board Grillsy then. It looks like Grillsy and Matt are about to renew their rivalry, and I think Matt is also homing in on Boden at the moment. He's doing a good job, as we said, in his debut race, so good stuff there. Zippo is just moved in front of Godzilla, because Godzilla is in the pit. Of course, Zippo, Asdog, NWB, and Double have all made their stops. Unfortunately, Baker's got a 3-second penalty. Of course, remember, Favre's got a 5-second penalty, which he would probably serve in the pit lane, won't he?
Yes, he will. It'll be it's a stop go, I think, isn't it? So, yeah. Well, no, yes, it was a stop go for a corner cutting, like Godzilla just received as well. So, yeah, he'll have to take that on his pit stop when he comes in, which I believe will probably be in about 5 or so laps from now. I was just looking at the order based on the tyre, and it's a complete mess. The super softs and the softs are all over the place. There's no sort of linearity between which tyre's faster and who's where. Just as we've got Bill and Matt going on an attack against Grillsy. Is he going to get past him again?
Well,
he has.
These two have been back and forth now, aren't they, for a couple of laps as Gator Nation comes into the pit. So Gator Nation was right up there in the points, so good stuff from Gator Nation. As we've got a crazy Barker, Barker. Oh, he's up into 10th position now. Oh, and Grillsy was forced onto the grass there. I'm not sure if there was contact because unfortunately the camera. Oh, and he's on the gravel there. He didn't get forced off there, and. Yeah, so that's unfortunate there, but of course this is tough racing, but I have a feeling that the stewards are going to be very busy after this race. Okay. Yeah, sorry mate. And, so we're just on board Crazy now, who's trying to come back from the field. Barker. God, I'm so scared now saying Baker. Barker is now in 10th position in the Ferrari. he's of course making his debut as well. So good stuff from the Ferrari driver. But Crazy, who's almost done exactly the same thing again there.
Yeah, I think he's got a setup problem there somewhere, because his car just doesn't like to handle that as high as the cane does it. So whether he's made an adjustment to the setup before the session started, which just doesn't fancy that corner. I think he's coming into the pits now. Yeah. Followed by Mr. Elite.
We got several people in the pits, and you can see Matt's just in the pits as well. Storm has just come out of the pits. So all these guys going on the medium tyres, and that's exactly what Todd's strategy is. He is now up into 10th position, so he's in the points. So of course, remember, Todd started from near the back of the field, and I think out of the guys at the back of the field, the only guy that has really made any progress really is him, because the Godzilla's still down there, and NWB is also still down there as well.
NWB's been struggling for pace for the whole. Well, I think he had some sort of damage at the beginning of the race, obviously on the initial lap, but he's not even been able to switch anything on since then. He had a pit and put a new front wing on and put the medium tyres on, but he just hasn't been able to get the times in now, which is a bit strange. And just I think obviously as Bradders is pitting now on the lead for the super soft runners, I think Jay Bogan, Guna and probably Zippo as well will be pitting now on the super softs. I think they will be very close to dying, unfortunately, and the guys on the softs and the mediums will come through. Interestingly enough, I was right, the strategy for the super soft guys was just to eke out enough time to then put the mediums on and go to the end. So the guys on mediums, depending on the safety cars or anything like that, will probably be going to the end now, and then hoping to jump the guys who are pitting, who are currently on the softs, who will probably be going to the mediums as well.
Yeah, and so Nigel now leads this race. There's Farf is now up into second, Grillsy is third, Murphy is fourth, Bradders then is in fifth, so he's come out on the medium tyres, and as you said, he did a very good job there of getting the tyres eked out to a decent point, and he is now catching up to Murphy. We have just had a chance. I was just trying to look down the field there, and we had a Crazy Hitman in Gator Nation kind of coming to a bit of contact there. You can see the warnings now starting to come up. The warnings around here are pretty painful, aren't they? Because it's quite easy to
it's always the three chicanes really that catch everyone out, isn't it? So obviously, as we got NWB spinning out on the second chicane, he's recovered it and there's no damage, but he's just got to rejoin the track quickly, and he can get on his way. But he's got some problems there, I think, with that car, and he's had them all this race so far. But
Mr. Elite's in the war. I think that was an optimistic move on Godzilla there. But he's damaged his front wing, and he's just trying to get himself back on track. I think NWB's got some damage on that. Well, Crazy Hitman's got no wing at all. He's gone off the track there, so I'm not sure what's happened to Crazy. But yeah, that's a lot of damage on Crazy's car, and he's unfortunately only just come in the pits as well.
Well, I'm not sure where NWB got that damage from, because he
didn't touch the wall, did he?
When he put these mediums on, he had a new wing fitted, so his wing should be alright, unless he's going to have to pit again for a new wing as well. And that's going to we're definitely on the helpers race, isn't it? It's going to be put him further back. And interestingly enough, we've got obviously Bradders is still in net P1, I think. Based on pit stop times, but we've got a bit of a gap between first and second at the moment, and as Nigel pits now, so will Grillsy follow him into the pit or not? We'll have to wait and see, but and he doesn't want, he does want to, or he made a bit of a
late call there.
Yeah, lost a lot of time as well, I think, probably to guys behind him, so Barker carries on in P4 now, but Storm's going to get him now, I think, on the main straight with TRS and those medium tyres. We've probably warmed up by now on lap 3. No, he doesn't get him.
Oh, and Storm has gone into Baker there, but yeah, it was very light contact there, and but now Storm is up in, well, he's on the inside of the Curva Grande there. As I'm not sure if we're getting reports about the stream being down or something like that, but if so, I apologise.
He's just gone into the back of him there.
Yeah, you should have kind of thought about that, really, shouldn't you? Because because we've got a yellow flag in sector 1, and it's Gator Nation who's pointing the wrong way, and he's struggling to get back on the track there. But as we're now on board with Todd, then Broke Gorilla, who's up in, who's just pitted, and he's now in 14th position. So good progress there from Todd, and yeah. But as you can see, Zippo is now up in the 10th position. Farf is 9th. Matt is 8th, and Matt has jumped Farf. So that's the power of the undercut there. I'm sorry if you've covered that already. So I was actually looking to see what the stream was.
No, it's just that obviously Farf had his 5-second time penalty, didn't he?
Yes.
So that would have played a factor in this pit stop.
That's exactly right. I completely forgot about that. As we're on board with Matt now. He's just behind Murphy at the moment. Of course, similar age tyres, and it's interesting to see that Jay Bowden has gone into the soft compound tyre. As unfortunately,
so he's going to he's going to have to pit again, I'm afraid. He's not going to make it to him. Well, he can try, I think. Obviously, he pitted when he was at 3 laps. So lap 12 probably now. So he's got to do 15 laps on the softs. I don't think they'll make it that far, unfortunately, so we'll have to wait and see. As Matt's going for a look in turn 1, but he doesn't make it. So yeah, it's bunching up behind Grills at the moment now. So all those guys are on fresh medium tyres, so they'll be fighting for position on that one, trying to get further up the order to those points at the end of the race.
Yeah, as you said, rightly it is Butch up there in Grills now, so we've got a bit of a freeway battle now for the 5th position at the moment. So yeah, I'm not sure why Bowden's gone for the soft compound tyre. He might just feel happier on it. A great stint from Barker there. He's on 13 laps on those tyres, and then he's up into 2nd position at the moment. So nicely done there. Crazy Hitman has just set the fast lap of the race, so he's up flying as well. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. It's Zippo who's just coming back on the track there, so I'm not sure what happened there. I have a feeling he might have come together with Mr. Elite. I might be wrong on that one, but yeah, so Brothers has got a 15.3 second lead at the moment, so he's looking very strong at this stage of the race at the moment. So so Brothers making a return, and he has got a commanding lead over 15-second lead over Barker, who is 2nd position at the moment. 3rd position is Nigel. And we've got Bogdan in 4th position. Then, of course, Grillsy is 5th. Murphy is 6th. 7th is Matt, and who is this is the closest battle on track at the moment. Got a lot of debris down in turn 1. Matt was having a look on Murphy. Murphy's in 6th position at the moment. Is he going to go on the outside? No, not quite. There's a 3-second penalty there again for Hitman, but he's coming out Curva Grande. He's going to go on the outside into the 2nd chicane. He's broke much later, but Murphy we got contact. We got huge contact, and Matt's God is spun. So
oh dear, it's one of the Lewis Hamilton Sebastian Vettel one of those incidents, isn't it?
Yeah.
He didn't. I don't think because Dan had a really poor deceleration, braking into turn 1 into the first chicane, and that put him at risk from under pressure from Matt straight after that on the exit. And I think Matt went a bit deep on the brakes there, and as I was on board with Dan, and I could just see him in the right hand corner in the braking zone. And obviously there's not much space to do two car wide through that chicane, is there? So
no.
Unfortunately Matt came off worse there. It'll be interesting to see if he tries to report that, won't it?
So Farf has moved up into 6th position now. The stream is back on now, guys, so yeah, apologies about that. I don't know what happened there. Turn the internet on and off. Farf is Farf, as we said, is now up into 6th. 7th is Murphy. Matt and Dan just come together into the 2nd chicane there. So yeah, exactly. It was a bit of a Vettel Hamilton kind of thing there. Is that we've now got Storm, who's trying to come back through the field. He's on the outside of Gunnar. This is the final battle, and we've got polystyrene blowing up there, and now he's on the outside of Curva Grande there, and now he's going on. He should have the inside for the 2nd chicane, but Gunnar defending that very well. Of course, Storm is on that soft tyres there. Jumping. Oh, and Gunnar's gone very wide, and as he is now through and up into Storm back up into 10th position now.
I was going to say that was going to ruin, if Storm was stuck behind Gunnar for too long there, it's going to ruin his race on his strategy. So Storm had to get past him quite quickly, and obviously with Gunnar going a bit wide into the gravel, it just made that move a lot easier, didn't it?
As we're on board with NWB now, who is close behind Gorilla at the moment, so of course this is battle for 13th and 14th. NWB has done 12 laps on those medium tyres. Do you reckon he's going to have to pit again, isn't he?
Yeah, he will. Unfortunately, I think he started on the softs in the and then had some damage and nothing had some damage in the first lap, causing him to pit again for the medium. So he won't be able to get up the end on those mediums for sure. So it might benefit from. Actually, to be fair, he might be able to eke out this stint and go on to the super softs, and effectively do a reverse of the starting strategy for most people, where they start on the super softs and then switch to on lap 9/10 for the mediums, and he'll probably try and do a reverse of that.
And on board with Zippo, who's good on the inside of Mr. Elite there in the parabolica. So good move there from Zippo as Barker has finally pitted and he's put on the super soft tyres for the last 10 laps. So he done 17 laps on the soft tyres, but we'll come back to that in a minute because Crazy Hitman, Mr. Elite and Zippo are on a good old battle here at the for 15th, 16th and 17th at the moment, as NWB is dropped behind Gorilla. I think he might have made a mistake somewhere because he's back behind him. So, but yeah, this battle here is good stuff. Very close, everything.
Hitman going for he's just on the grass a bit there, but he's going for a move, I think. Is he?
I think he. I was reminiscent of.
You want to back out of that because that would have been a similar situation to Dan and Matt there, where two don't go into one, as Martin would say.
That was looking reminiscent of and NWB is out of the race, and that is I think he's gone off in the
Ascari again. It's the one that can throw you into the wall, and it's done that for NWB unfortunately. And he didn't have, for some reason, he didn't have the pace that we've seen from him so many times already. As we've got Mr. Elite in the wall as well behind him.
Yeah.
He's been able to carry on, but he lost it in the same position. And yeah, it's that one of those corners where if you haven't got stability of the rear wing, the ballast, it will throw you about a bit. As it throws your hip-hand puts, and Dave Nation is exiting puts at the moment.
Yeah, and that's our first retirement of this race, so good stuff from all these drivers out there today, especially as we've seen some very Larry moments. As
yeah, it's been actually really good racing. I think it's been actually really good racing because even from the first lap there was a lot of close quarter battle, put it that way, and people inches away from each other, and nobody caused an accident. Everybody kept it clean as much as they could. People went off here and there into the gravel, but no, it was really good racing for everybody.
Yeah, it's been fantastic stuff. We've just seen Barker there, who just who basically steamed up behind Gunnar and overtook him. Remember, Barker is on the super soft tyres, and he's started to fly there. But so that was the difference between the medium tyres and the super soft there. Brilliantly shown there from a Barker there. Brilliant stuff there. Now you can see the battle between as NWB has left the session. He's not a very happy bunny by the looks of it, unfortunately, as the battle between as the battle is just calmed down between Zippo and Mr. Elite and Crazy at the moment, as we're just watching Braddersen, who's coming up to lap. He is flying out there, isn't he? He's looking very in control of this race on lap 19. Nigel is second, he's coming to lap his teammate, I think, or he's just lapped his teammate. And of course, Farf is Farf and Grillsy there, and Farf is up into 4th position. Brilliant move there.
Wow, that was a great move because that was just into the entry of Ascari there, because I think they were probably side by side in DRS leading up to that, and Farf managed to get the move done.
That was excellent, wasn't it, from Farf? We only seen the end, unfortunately, but brilliant stuff from Farf, and good stuff from Grills as well. Very nice racing from both those guys. Boden is up into third position at the moment on those soft tires. He's done 9 laps on those soft tires, but is he going to try and go to the end? He's going to. As Murphy's in the pits now, so that's interesting. Is Murphy changing his strategy here, or has he got damage? We'll have a look. He's going on the super soft tyre.
He's going for the supers. Super soft tyre, yeah. So,
yeah, so,
I think he's just looking to get a point for fastest lap if we had that. But,
he's a year too early.
I think obviously the mediums were, mediums are a slower tyre out of the 3 compounds, and clearly they weren't working for him there, so he decided to switch up the strategy and do 8 laps as fast as he can.
Yeah, it's, I'm surprised he's done that, to be honest, because I don't think he's going to gain as far from Grillsy. I think Grillsy's just repaid the favour.
Yeah, Grillsy got him back in exactly the same spot, and unfortunately he's gone wider, so far to gain the position.
Great stuff from both these guys there. These penalties are going to really come up to cause some major issues at the end of the race for Southern drivers. They're going to lose a couple of positions. So we've got to keep an eye on Murphy then, because he's going to be flying on the super soft tyres. As we're on board then with Grillsy then, so he is in DRS range of Farf. Remember, had a 5-second penalty as well. So where could he have been if that didn't happen? He's still got a chance for a podium as well, because they're 10 laps for Bob then on those soft tyres. I don't think he's going to last.
He'll definitely be struggling at the end, because I think because he started GNR program started on the super softs, didn't he? So putting on the softs was not the he certainly wasn't the one-top strategy. So it will obviously open him up to possibly putting on super softs for another run after another stop, which will release Bart, Grillsy, probably Bilton, Matt, Storm, Barker, possibly even Gaming as well. So it would see him go right back down the order.
Just saying with Grillsy, I don't want to leave this battle, because every time I leave this battle, they seem to swap positions. These two do, and we got a 3-second penalty there from Farf. Remember, he had a 5-second penalty earlier, but he took that in the pits. So, and you can see they're catching on Boden quite quickly now, because Boden is now only 2 seconds down the road from these two. So this is going to get spicy as well quite quickly. So this is going to be interesting. And at the moment, everyone else is nicely spread out at the moment, even though Storm is now almost within a DRS range of Matt in the battle for 6th and 7th position as well. So yeah, Grillsy hasn't put his DRS on for some reason, so I'm not sure if that's a glitch on our telemetry or what, but yeah, he'd be losing a lot of time down there. Asdog, got a penalty. He's just outside the point at the moment. The only problem with that is that he is 4 seconds away from Murphy, who's on the super soft tyre, so he'll be a lot quicker. Of course, his next challenge for Murphy is Gunnar, who's on 11 lap medium tyres, and he's 6 seconds away. And of course, yeah, good stuff at the moment I was going to say, it was great to... Oh, it's the Ascar chicane, isn't it? It is.
The very same. So it's going him off to the left this time instead of going to the right where NWDB went. But unfortunately, that's our second retirement of the day.
Ironically, I was just going to say, is that crazy Hitman is really struggling in the Ascar chicane. I was just going to say up until that point, it's been great in terms of the DNS, the lack of DNS, but yeah. Maybe I should just keep my mouth shut.
And yeah, just on Dan Murphy's situation, he's gaining. He put those super softs on lap 20 and was about 9.5 seconds behind Dina when he actually got outfit and got going. So he's gained 5 seconds in 3 laps, which is good enough pace to obviously catch up with him and just be overtaken for the end of the race.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get past Barker, is he? And or even Storm, really, is he, Murphy? As we're on board then with Storm, actually, as he is now lining up Matt for a move in the pit straight. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2, and I'm hoping so the move has been done. We still got a yellow flag in sector 2.
It was Zippo, sorry, off in the second leg move. He should be covered on track now.
So Zippo on a bit of a harsh debut in ALR, as we got a yellow flag.
And Crazy Hitman almost followed in as well, and he says little things, but We covered it very well.
I'm not sure what happened to Matt, but Matt's dropped down quite a bit, and he's now Barker's now in front of him. So I'm not sure if there's contact between Matt and Storm, but Matt's got a 3-second penalty as well, just to add to the misery there. So he's dropped down to 8th position, Matt has. So Barker doing a good job on this debut. So two of our debutants are actually in the points at the moment. So well done to them. And so Barker's on 6 laps owed super soft tyres. So got 5 seconds to stop. Go penalty then for Zippo, who sped in the pit lane. And Farf is now
Farf all over the back of Bogan now in P3. So I'm expecting that podium position to switch to Farf now. He's going to have the ALR.
He is, and of course Nigel's 11 seconds away from this, so I don't think Farf is going to cause Nigel any problem. But Farf has got a great podium record there, and he's up the inside, and a good move there from Farf. Oh, got a bit of contact there, and I'm not. Do you reckon Bowden?
Bit of a big squeeze on that one. I think he didn't even many of them thought he knew he was there.
So some brutal antics there from Farf, but Bowden has got the slipstream now, but I think he's too far back to have a go then, so I think he's got to be more concerned now with
Those
Grills.
tyres will be going off right now anyway, so I don't think he'll be able to catch back up and take that position, I think.
Yeah, apologies about the stream, I don't know what's going on today, I think it's a Sunday, isn't it? Well, then again, we race on Sunday all the time, so yeah, that can't be right. Anyway, we're just watching Murphy now at the moment, so he's catching on Gunnar. Gunnar is in 9th position. His teammate, Mr. Lee, on a bit of an off day down in 13th position. Unfortunately, Crazy Hitman's race was going well until he started struggling in a Scar chicane there, so unfortunately for him, and Double's race has been unfortunately hampered since the beginning, really, so disappointing for Double. But yeah, his teammate Barker doing a great job today, and of course we'll have to discuss driver of the day in a minute. To be honest, I can see 1 or 2 candidates, but I can definitely see one clear winner on that one.
I can't pick anybody. Sorry.
Well, I was thinking Brothers, to be honest, because he's just been a class of 1 today. He's been amazing. That would be probably my pick. So of course, coming back after several races out, and just think what he would definitely have been within the chance of trying for the title of Brothers if he stuck with it. Talking of which, he's got a 3-second penalty, so I better shut up now. As we're now watching a Murphy who's just closing on Gunnar. He's going on the inside there, brakes much there because he's got more grip, and beautifully done there from Murphy. So he's at track position. And his next target is Matt, who is in 5 seconds in front of him, but he has 3 laps to go. I don't think he's going to be able to catch him within that time.
No, I don't think that the pace has gone from those tyres now. I think it's been almost 7 laps, sorry, on those tyres, so they're probably coming towards the end of their best life.
And unfortunately, we've also lost Zippo as well. Zippo's out at sector 2 somewhere, so I think he might have visited the wall where everyone else has been visiting today, and ended up being Gator Nation. And that's out of the Ascar chicane then. So as we're just going to stay with Grillsy then, who is in 5th position now, and he's catching on Bowden as well, because Bowden making his debut. I've said that several times today, but just underline how good of a job he's doing. Of course, he's going to give McLaren some decent points as well with NWB, and unfortunately on a bit of a rough day, and also, and of course, also Twan, the McLaren regular, or B, he's only done one race in McLaren, is in the of course off doing his events, and now Grillsy then.
He's gained obviously, well, he's gained 5 positions at the moment. I think it would be 4 obviously when Grillsy gets past him, but. His strategy is a bit off, because he put super soft, started on super soft obviously. Oh, have we got Crazy Hitman in the wall there? And after the first race, I think he was.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so he's gone on the softs, sort of the mediums like everybody else, and trying to get them to the end. So he's about to. We've got a lap and a sector we need to do, but I think Gilsey will get him on the main straight. Next lap, on the final lap. Yeah,
I was going to say he can't pick a spot, but he can't take too long about it, because as you said, this is we're coming up to the final lap now. Unfortunately, Crazy's out as well, so we've lost a lot of the DNFs has come right at the end of this race, which has been very good stuff. Grillsy just going off the track there slightly. He's going to go on the outside. Boden is parked in the middle of the straight here, and now and I thought he was getting a bit of a squeeze there, and he's up the inside and he's done it. So well done as well. Contact. There was a bit of contact, so I think a bit of wind come off of Boden's car there, so Boden has dropped down to 5th position. And but I think that
squeezing each other a bit there, weren't they? And well,
it felt a bit personal, that one did.
If you get too close, you get a bit of damage, don't you? So I don't think there'll be too much to go on that, because it's the final lap, and I don't feel he was going to be on the next year or so, even if that one doesn't come with fruition. So we'll see what happens in the next DRS fit. I think he is still in DRS zone, so we might be able to catch up with him. We've missed the finish again.
And Brothers has won the Italian Grand Prix, and in fine style as well. This has been it's been a great comeback there from Brothers. He's just been in a class of one. Nigel, as we got a car in the wall there, coming into the pit, as Nigel is second then, and he's 12 seconds behind in the end. What about Farf coming through? So great recovery drive from Farf there. So Godzilla is in the wall in the pit lane. Farf is third. Grillsy coming through in 4th position. What about Bogdan has actually come back up to 4th because of the penalties. So well done to Bowden there. As in 6th position is Storm, 7th position is Barker. Brilliant drive from Barker. Matt is 8th, but yeah, Murphy.
Stands all over the back of him. Only gets the position as well. So, what a great drive from Dan at the very end of that lap. That was he was about 2 seconds down on that one.
Unfortunately, Matt finished 10th by the looks, because Gunnar has been promoted to 9th there. So unfortunately, penalties have come back to haunt Matt. So that's a bit unfortunate there.
Oh dear.
And they're the guys on the podium then. So Brothers returning, giving Sauber their first win of ALR. So brilliant stuff for Brothers as well. So hopefully we'll see Brothers back full time very soon. And we're looking forward to him racing in the Gold League next year. And of course he will be racing with the 2 guys next to him as well, of Nigel and Farf. But that has been absolutely amazing stuff from Brothers. So that is his first win in ALR. So that is amazing stuff. Absolutely stupendous. So well done to Brothers then. So we just round up the final classifications then from the Italian Grand Prix. So good drive from Gunnar. He hadn't got no penalties at all, but Brothers then won the race. Then it was 2nd from Nigel, 3rd for Farf, 4th for Boden, 5th position Grillsy, 6th position is Storm. Then we've got Barker in 7th, Murphy in 8th, 9th is Gunnar, and 10th is Matt. Outside the points is Asdog, having a bit of a tough day. Asdog, Gorilla from 18th on the grid up into 12th. Good drive. Mr. Elite, 13th position. Double, unfortunately, was hampered after being hit at the start. And our retirements is Godzilla, Hitman, Zippo, and of course Gator Nation and the NWB. Yeah, so good race there. That was amazing stuff. Unfortunately, we've had problems with the stream all the way through it by the looks, because mine's stuck loading for a while. So we'll skip we might have to skip the driver interviews today. But yeah, but of course we'll do a quick note taking, and we'll let you know what the guys say going into the next race, which is Singapore, I believe. So we go from the quickest Grand Prix to the longest Grand Prix. So yeah, that's going to be a test for the drivers next Sunday. It's going to be a test for us as well, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway then, so thank you for joining us, and we'll see you. As the stream might have come back actually, so we'll do interviews anyway. And Nigel has joined us, so Nigel's 2nd today. But not only that though, but you are now extended your lead in the championship. How are you feeling about that? But you still got on the podium, and you still got 18 points. So you've now got quite a. My maths is terrible, so we'll have to. You'll have to wait till the results. But yeah, so. Yeah, so that is also stuff. But Brother, so was pretty quick today. Do you think? Do Was he just taking it easy, or do you think that, or do you think he was on Braddock's pace?
Carsten was not very good. Pace was definitely not there. In the pits, I lost 6 seconds for nothing. I don't know why. About 6 or 8 seconds. I don't know why. But yeah. Next race it will not be that easy.
No, it won't. Singapore is a bit of a challenge, weather conditions and all sorts of in that race. So yeah, but well done, Nigel. Brilliant driver, very controlled as well. And how are you feeling around Singapore?
Always a challenge. I'm looking forward to it.
Nice one. And we're looking forward to seeing you on track next Sunday as well, Nigel. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, thanks, mate.
I don't think anyone else has joined the party apart from. I think we can. I suppose you can always talk to Dan if we like. Dan, how was your race?
I've invited the other top 3, but they haven't materialised. So, yeah, go for it, Sean.
So let's just talk to Dan a bit quick. So Dan, you had a bit of a interesting race there. How was it for you?
Well, I pitted for the super softs because my mediums, I couldn't warm them up. They were just like driving on ice, and I was losing a second a lap to Matt, who was also on the medium tyres.
And you and Matt made contact, didn't you, at the second chicane there? What's your opinion on that?
Matt made contact with me.
Excellent.
That's my opinion.
It looked like a Hamilton Vettel situation sort of thing.
Well, I was ahead of him into the chicane, and two people don't go into that chicane.
No, they don't.
Definitely not. You can hear all the notifications there, so that sounds like you got a very busy night, the admins. And anyway,
you're an admin as well, Sean.
Shh, don't tell them that. Yeah, well, thank you for joining us all, and see you next week for the Singapore Grand Prix.